Hi, so the topic that I want to talk about in this video is sleep paralysis. Now, this is one of the most, I feel, interesting and at the same time scary things that kind of relates to dreams and, being in that state of where you're not in a waking state, but, there is still consciousness and there is still something going on. So, what I want to talk about is how there are certain things that are common that many people see during the state of sleep paralysis, and just talk about a few of my experiences about it. So, I think I have experienced sleep paralysis, I think a couple of times. It doesn't happen to me that often, but I remember this one particular time when it was late at night and I was sleeping, and then the sleep, it kind of gradually faded out, but for some reason that sleep paralysis kicked in, and it was a very scary feeling because it somehow feels like there is something unseen that is kind of holding you and that has kind of taken hold of you. And it's also at this time when it happened, I did not know, but it's very common to see weird things during the state of sleep paralysis, which something of similar to that happened. And okay, so what happened is, as I was laying down with that sleep paralysis going on, I saw right next to me that there was this weird person sitting right next to me, and it was a woman, and she had, like, there was weird marks on her face, and she was wearing this white colored, like, I don't know what it is. It was like a long piece of cloth or whatever it was. So she was wearing this, and there was this very scary expression on her face. It was like a smiling expression, that this malicious kind of smiling expression that was on her face, and she was looking directly at me, and with this weird smile on her face. And it was very scary because there's this this scary character that is sitting right next to you, and you feel like you cannot move. So, and it there's also, if I remember correctly, there was this feeling that there was something pressing on my chest, which was like kind of which had kind of pinned me down. It felt that way, and so this was a pretty scary experience. And I think what I ended up doing, this was like quite a while ago, so I don't remember all the details of it. But what I ended up doing was I just kind of closed my eyes, and in that scared state, I just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. And then the next day, I woke up, and then I remembered what had happened last night. So this is a pretty scary experience. And sometime later, when I started, I was reading up on sleep paralysis, then I realized that this is something that is pretty common. A lot of people see weird figures, especially dressed in white clothes, sitting right next to them, or in some cases on top of them, with very scary expressions or very scary faces. And I don't know what could be like the reason behind it, because it is so similar what kind of things people see. I even looked up like images of whatever illustrations people had made of this, and it was so similar to what I had seen. And so there is this experience of seeing a figure. It's very common amongst people, and that I find that to be very interesting. Why we see these certain things in particular instead of other things. So that is pretty interesting to think about. And another thing that I feel, I think it kind of relates to sleep paralysis is, when you have these certain dreams, and in these dreams you're trying to run, and it's just so difficult to just run and just to move your feet, or you're trying to, in the dream, for some reason you have to throw a punch or something, and it's just so difficult to move your arms. And I feel this has to do with sleep paralysis, at least in a way, that how our bodies are unable to move in the state of dreams, so that it can prevent us from actually acting out our dreams and injuring ourselves, or if there's anyone else around us, from injuring them. So that is such a scary. It's one of those things where it's so frustrating when it actually happens. And sometimes, I don't know, I guess it has to, I feel sometimes in certain cases it feels like it could not have to do with this, but I feel there can be some kind of connection between this state of being unable to move and feeling that feeling unable to move or feeling unable to make any quick movements in dreams. So I feel there could be any connection. There could be some connection in that. So yeah, well, that those are just a few of my thoughts on sleep paralysis. If you've had any like interesting or really scary kind of experiences, you can let me know. And so yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.